Well, look at that. It's midweek, it's midday, and you're here with Rob and Sara.
It's mid everything.
It's mid everything.
It's mid night. Nope.
No,
Not
it
mid.
isn't. It's midday. It's our favorite. It's our favorite time of the week too, midweek, because we get to sort of. Sorry, I'm like discombobulated today a little bit.
So if 12 o'clock is midnight, that means night must start at 6 p.m. and end at 6 a.m.
Because there's evening and then there's night, right?
Well, is there mid evening? Because then that could mean maybe 9 to 12. I don't know. This is a lot. This is a
Well, there's late night, right? There's late night.
late night would be probably like 11.
I would say 10. Well, it's about 8:30 for me now, but yeah.
Well, we know, Granny. Hey, listen, Wookiees need a lot of beauty sleep.
Wookiees do. It's okay.
Wookie. I had a
Listen,
Wookie.
you can't be for everybody. Like, it's all right. So I'm good. Time is not going to matter once I finish building my time machine. Drunken Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts.
There they are. Drunken Donuts. Before we just get off on our tangent, why don't we say hello to everybody? Because that's what we do.
Why don't we say hello to all 7 people?
Hey, Stacy, all 7. I know I think our sparkle is dulling at midweek.
Also haven't been consistent because we have shit going on. Which reminds me, don't let me forget, I have to go to the doctor.
Yeah. Well, there's that too. Miss Danny Marie, there she is. Divination with Danny coming in. Go check out Extreme Ticketing. ExtremeTicketing.com, Extreme with an X, folks. Go check it out. There's some amazing events on there, not just Get Haunted. There's a whole slew of people that are adding their events to that page, and they're amazing looking. I love that. I love that. Miss Sandy, there she is. Miss Sandy Pickle. How's that baby doing? Courtney, my girl Courtney, how are you doing? I hope you are doing just fine. We have Damien. Hi, Damien. Hearts back to you. And the beautiful Miss Icy is right here. Hello to you. And Drunken, always a pleasure. Always. Yeah, right. Prostate examination.
I want to meet Drunken Donuts. I want to understand the myth behind the strawberry, which is, if you're going to pick a donut, that's not the one I would pick. Again, why I'm fascinated with who this person may or may not be.
Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, we've just been I've been plucking away at the Rock Island Roadhouse Esoteric Expo for 2025 and the banners, because we've got a whole lot of people and a whole lot of banners, and I'm down to just my I bet you I've got one handful left. That's it.
It never ends when you have something like things are going to change, so don't get comfortable.
Not comfortable, but to have them organized and I think almost done. Hey, Beth Brownlee here. It just feels good to sort of have my head wrapped around that. So we're getting, now the banners were fun, but now the real fun stuff kind of gets to be planned. And that is exactly how your time right there at Rock Island Roadhouse is going to go down on October 4th. There's so many things. The presentations that are set up are amazing. The gallery readings, the museums, the immersive experiences, some free, some add-on tickets, some great presentation. Guys, we got Dave Giuliano, and I put his banner up, and oh my gosh, people were so excited to see Dave Giuliano's face pop up. Like, they were giving him all sorts of kudos.
I don't get it.
Nice. They were like, oh, they're all so excited.
Dave Giuliano is so damn popular.
He is. If you guys don't know who he is, Ghost Hunters Store. And of course, I learned, because he was like, you didn't know this? I didn't know he was one of the first to be out there
on the internet.
Yeah.
Dave's one of the, if you ever get to talk to Dave, even outside of business, his delivery and his style and who he is, he's a really, really cool cat. And he got my product pretty quickly. So I'm going to.
I really like him. I've liked getting to know him. Like,
he's a good dude.
He is. He's been fun. So you can catch his show on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on the Get Haunted Paranormal Podcast program, Straight Talk. So go check him out.
Not today. Drunken? No, no. I do my own actually. Sorry, Sarah. The men are talking. I'm assuming Drunken's a man. I don't know. I don't even know.
I don't know either. Hi, Kent. Kent, why don't you put out your expo that you have that you are putting together here, and I believe it is September 27th, right there. And I believe I don't remember. I feel bad. I don't remember if it was Paducah.
It's not. I don't think it's Paducah, but it could be
So
Paducah.
it could.
Paducah is fun to say.
It
I'll give
is
you
fun
that.
to say. It is fun to say. So please, by all means, put that information out there so everybody knows where to look for that and help support you. Lori, there's Miss Lori Salerno. Hi. We've just been busy. And last night we got to do if you guys aren't part of our Patreon, we're getting things kicked off over there. We had a panel about equipment, and we had Bill Bryant of Empty Casket Paranormal, who does create and sell equipment. And also one of our favorites, Rob Balsack from Ghost Geared Tech. And then we had Lori and myself and Rob and Terry Rogers and
Sandy.
And we were all just kind of talking about like our knowledge and not so much knowledge about equipment and where we'd like to see it go. So I'm super excited. Oh, this is so awesome. I love this. Did you guys know that Real Ditto House? And was it Real Ditto and Fort Duffield, or just Real Ditto House that got hit up with haunted discovery?
I don't know what she's allowed to talk about either. So
well, she just let
I guess
some
we're
of it
gonna
out.
find out.
Hey, Carmen, she did leave out, she did let some of it out there. So keep your eyes open on Pac-Man Paranormal and the hauntings of Fort Duffield, and of course the Real Ditto House. I'm sure she'll have it on other amazing groups along with Pac-Man Paranormal. Both awesome, Fort Duffield and the Real Ditto House. Two amazing places.
Leo's under my desk. I didn't know. All I heard was growling from under the desk, so I had to check.
Why is he growling though?
He's sleeping, so he's probably dreaming about, certain things, scary dog things, like
probably
like not getting all of the pepperoni off of my pizza.
Oh, it wasn't pepperoni. It was actually the pepperoni.
No, actual pepperoni. Pepperoni's different.
Yeah, it is different.
Well, we started using that just to save money.
Putting pepperoni on your pizzas.
Yeah, it's not bad if you don't think about it.
I love that. I do love that. Yeah. So what else is been going on, Rob? What is it we're going to talk about with these fine people?
Yeah, I don't know. We're not exactly planned out today. Hi, Christine Marie. Juanice. Just Ryan Dayton in the house.
There he is.
Yeah, there's so many damn things to talk about. Some we can, some we can't, but we have the tattoo event at the convent coming up. People are listen, here's how this works. If you're on the fence, if you are considering coming and getting the tattoo, you need to understand, I think it's clear on the description, but there's a time block. There's a block of time where if you want that tattoo, it has to happen within that time frame prior to the investigation. And the flash that's listed in the event as well. And for non-tattooed people, flash is just a page with all of what you can get on it, predetermined. They're not really doing custom tattoos that day. You can choose from what they've created. Hey, Joseph. And you kind of got to stay within the guidelines because they're budgeting out 2 hours to try to get enough time to get everyone inked up that wants to get inked up. So that's how that works. Oh, good. Thank God. So that's how that works. So if you have questions, I just answered them. If you're watching this and considering going, Ryan, I believe, is planning to come to that event. I'm not sure.
Oh, I love that.
Sure. Um, but yeah, we got that. Then we've got the Farnsworth House coming, right? That's going to be beastoid, awesome night. Get
Awesome 2
ready.
days, really.
It's really 2 days, right? But Sarah hasn't done what I've asked her to do, which is put together that Friday. It just hasn't happened, Sarah. So, like, these are our friends. This is our circle. We have to be able to be honest with them and all of your shortcomings.
Well, did you speak in Wookieesian? Or maybe if you did that, I would know.
Yeah.
Hey, Leanne.
Hi, Leanne.
Get back to work, Denise. You got lives to save. We love you. Yeah, I will, but we're talking about the Friday before, because if you're coming out to Gettysburg for the Farnsworth on April 5th, you might as well come in for the whole weekend. You might as well come in Friday, and we're going to have together a whole day, and we're going to talk about, or we'll put out a schedule where you can get around Gettysburg with Get Hunt. I'm like, there's so many things flying around my head right now. There's so much going
Okay, well,
on.
we got to get them on paper because I want to get this out there because it is. I'm even excited to hang out, and there's going to be cool, maybe little scavenger hunt things that we did. This is going to be cool.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Give us something to do, get together, just have a relaxed hangout before a big event, because sometimes we don't get to have that with, like, we just, we get to the event, we got to get to it. And so now we're gonna hang out on Friday. We're going to have some good food. We're going to enjoy a drink together. Maybe I'll have a nice tea with you. I don't know.
Oh, God.
And then,
Danny's yelling at us, by the way, just so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you listen. We know.
Well, I think that should be planned, and then we plan around that, because that's a very specific thing, right? Like other things we have planned, we can just kind of show when we want to show. So correct. So we'll get that going. That's April 5th. April 4th will be Friday, but April 5th is the actual event. Yeah, the flashlight trick, Carmen. Yeah, we've talked about that.
Well, yeah. So I mean, controversial little method there, right? I've seen the flashlight trick, and when we call it a trick, it sort of does it a disservice if it's indeed yes, it might be icing. If it is indeed paranormal, I don't know, right? But I've seen it where the flashlight seems to respond, and there's all kinds of theories about expansion and contraction of metal during when it's hot and cold and all those fun things. But at the same time, I've seen it seemingly being reacting to something.
Well, what I will say, and I thought this was a really good sort of reminder, and I think, and when we look at social media and equipment and theories out there, they're very easy to cut down, right? But one thing that Bill Bryan did mention when we were talking about it, and especially something like a flashlight, right? Hey, Rick, I hope you are doing okay. I actually meant to do a drive-by check-in on you.
Yeah, man. He posts photos that make me worry about Rick.
I know. I hope you're doing okay. But Bill Bryan was saying, and we should all take this into consideration, right? Sometimes we get a piece of equipment. I'm guilty. And we don't use it enough. We just don't. We're not consistent about it. We don't get to really get comfortable with it and understand all the nuances. So, Carmen, with the flashlight, really the best bet to me would be, we don't know if it's going to always work. I don't think any piece of equipment is 100% correct or 100% wrong. I think if you say it on one end, you have to say it on the other end, right? So, my feeling, and I agree with Bill on this, is that you should use, right? Bill said you should use that equipment consistently and not just for a few minutes, and learn when does it go off. I loved his suggestion on timing of the question. So, like, don't ask a question to, hey, Mike, don't ask a question. Like, sometimes we get into a little bit of a pattern, right? So you'll ask a question 36 or 30 minutes or 30 seconds later, you'll ask it again. Spread it out and see if that flashlight reacts to what you're asking, and not something that's a little bit more natural and repetitive, right? So I loved that. I love that. What the heck is that?
Oh, It was a topic for later. Well,
Oh.
you made a promise Monday. I don't know if we were gonna do it. I
Oh.
really don't. I wanted to upload. So I get there's a new feature inside of StreamYard, so everybody knows where you can just share an image now instead of having to create an entire friggin' presentation out of it. And I
Yeah.
just tried it for the first time. I did not realize it automatically
Yeah.
throws it up there, but it's up.
Hey, Big Daddy.
Yeah, Andy, I got to talk to you about your tattoo request. So either I don't know if you're home today, but we'll talk a little bit later.
Mhm, mhm.
Andy's gonna get his first
I love
tattoo,
that. I love
maybe,
this.
maybe, but I'll talk to him about it
I love this.
later.
Love, love, love. So yeah, I love that piece of advice from Bill Bryan. So yeah, I would say, Carmen, you should do it. Try to do it consistent, even if you're just practicing at home, right? Like, see if you can get it to respond. Is it responding to certain questions? Can you walk away from it and 5 minutes later come back and ask another question? And does it actually respond back? I do like that. And I think that often we just don't put that kind of effort because we get the equipment, we go to an event, we use it, and we're like, oh my God, it's responding. But we don't know if that's responding or if that's just what it does in a natural environment, right? We don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. There have been times where I've left equipment on at night accidentally,
Hmm.
and I just so everybody knows, since we're Andy just chatted. These are the available tattoo styles for the convent. They even made us our own flash, so it's been quite an amazing few days. And we should also mention Brian Paoni's book because we saw Brian's share just a few days ago. But yeah, I've left equipment on here overnight accidentally,
Hmm.
and then all of a sudden you're hearing the beeping or whatever. Even in hotel rooms when I was traveling, it is weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but last night's discussion, we got pretty deep with equipment, right? Because people use terminology, and people have different belief systems, and you know, the book is coming. It's going to be Amazon, I think Barnes and Noble.
Mhm.
Um,
I think that might be in April, Mike, and
Yeah,
we'll.
the pre-orders coming in April. Um, but yeah, so understand to me the understanding of the relationship to the equipment to the belief system is also very very important. My request for the future of equipment has nothing to really do with ghosts and more to
Mhm,
do with you
mhm.
all and us, right? The living side of it.
And we've had this conversation when we've had, like when we go off on our, like, did you ever think about this? Like, I love those conversations when
Yeah.
we go into those, right? But I've often said this, and I've said this for years. It's always intrigued me when I've watched investigators either on public events or if I've gone on private events with people. We don't spend even enough time to understand what our own body does, right? Like, we
Right.
just don't even understand a lot of our own everyday function. Yet we sort of make these giant claims that we know exactly what the other side
Yeah.
is capable of. And
Yeah.
so I do love your concept of equipment, Rob, because I do think that it forces us to understand us
Hmm.
first, and then we can understand possibly why we're connecting with what we're connecting with. And you, like, that conversation last night, I was so out of it. I was so tired, and
You were
my head was
tired.
like freaking about ready to blow off of my body. But um honest to God, that conversation and where we sort of went with it really got me thinking about a lot of things, right? And
Yeah.
even about, because everybody, that topic it came up with, when we go to certain locations, say if it's from the 17 or 1800s, they don't understand our equipment, right? They don't understand it. And so that spurred a whole conversation about why do we think that we are so much more knowledgeable than the energy and consciousness on the
Well,
other side.
yeah, I guess the notion is that, once you're dead, you have the same knowledge that you had when you were alive,
I
which
hope
I
not.
have a hard I know, I hope not too. I mean, I'm incredibly smart and brilliant and narcissistic. Cheers. But I don't understand that correlation. If we're saying that they can do all these amazing things, right? How can they not have gains or leveled up at some point, right? You go from, you know, level 1 to level 6. I don't know. We don't know how it works, right? Which is also why I want to understand
Mhm.
um what's happening with us, right? When we experience these things, just like, when they measure brain waves and things like that during, death or near death experiences, what's our body doing, right? What's it
Yeah,
doing when,
yeah.
mediums go into a trance, right? And you're going into that alpha state, what's really happening
Next one,
physiologically?
Kaylee.
Um, what's happening, right? Are we then finally vibrating the right way? I don't know.
But
We
what's
don't know.
interesting, if you, God forbid, or if it's a fortunate and unfortunate, right? If you've had that opportunity to be with somebody, watching them from living to taking their last breath, there is the energy definitely changes. If
Changes.
you've never believed that, right? To watch somebody go from that light bulb's dimming, I had a week to be able to witness this, from seeing somebody fully alive to their very last breath, right? So you see that bulb go from bright to dim to just
Yeah.
done. And you're like, that you can look at the person and you've known that person all your life, and you can look at them and go, that's not that person, right? That just
Well,
it's just
yeah,
not.
and even in the months prior, right, up until when my dad went, um, you can watch it's a physical change, but it's also a change in energy, right? And I've told this story publicly and to you privately. There and my dad was delirious for his final months. Like, didn't know who I was. I'd walk in there, and it's really hard. That's a really, really difficult thing to go through when your own parent doesn't know who you are. He always knew who Ava was. Ava's his only granddaughter. He loved her, you know, beyond. But in the middle of it all, probably about 2 months before he passed away, um, I went in to see him like I did every day,
Mhm, mhm,
and he wasn't in his bed, right? He was in hospice at this point. He was sitting in the chair in the corner of the room,
mhm.
and which was not normal. So I walked in and I like stopped, and I'm looking at him. He's like, "Hey." His eyes were different. His energy, everything was different about him. He
Mhm,
didn't even appear sick at
mhm.
all. And I'm like, "Hey, oh, you know who I am?" He's like, "Rob." He's like, "Sit down. We have to talk."
Yeah.
I'm like, "All right." So I sit down. He's like, "Where's Ava?" I was like, "She's home." I'm like, "Dad." He's like, "Here's what's gonna happen." He's like, "So and so is gonna want this." He's like, "Don't give it to her." Like, there was a
Yeah.
list. It was his final list. He's like, and you know, so and so is gonna say this, and this happened, and you need to know about this, and this thing's over here, and don't forget about the like this list.
Mhm.
And I'm like, Dad, I can't believe like we're even talking, and you know who I am. Um, and then he asked me, he said, when does my insurance run out? Because for those that don't know, and if you haven't lost a parent or had somebody in a situation like that, you don't get help till you're broke. The government doesn't do shit until their bank accounts are drained.
Mhm, mhm,
So I was like, well, I gave the date. I was like, on March 8th, your insurance runs out. But after
mhm,
that, don't worry about it. He's like, well, how much is this place a day? And I told
mhm.
him, and it's not cheap, y'all. Hospice care is not cheap. Nothing in this country is cheap when it comes to medical. Sure as shit. And my dad grew up during the Depression, stealing bread off of trucks to feed his brothers and sisters. Um, Money was important to him. Money was important to him. So I told him March 8th, sure as shit, March 8th, that
Yeah.
boy, he checked out. He left this planet. He was like, nope. But anyway, so I left that meeting with him, that visit with him, like just hopeful and like blown away at this
Mhm.
complete and total turnaround, to only for the very next day for him to be back to that state, which was basically comatose, and up until the day he died, he never came back. So what
Mhm. Mhm.
was that? Right? Like, it almost felt unreal. It almost felt.
There's a term for it.
Is there?
There is. It's a rally. It's a death rally, and there is a term for it. And many people do, and it does sort of give people that false sense of like, oh wait, they're turning a corner,
Oh,
and
I thought that was it. I'm like, he's gonna be home in like a week. Holy shit.
mhm, mhm,
But he never came back from it. And he went right back to that, right back to not knowing who I was. But there was this 20, 30 minutes
mhm,
of clarity.
mhm,
And he was calm as shit. Like, he didn't care. All he wanted was details from me.
mhm,
Like,
mhm,
okay, when is this over? When is this gonna touch my bank account?
yeah,
And god damn it, like that, and that's something he would do. Like, I know him. Um, it was wild. It was wild. That was one of my friends. And the day, and I've told this story publicly too. Um, the day he died, he, I knew it. I knew it. I sat down at work, that opened my laptop, and I just got the worst feeling in the world. And then 10 seconds later, the phone rang. It's weird. It was a weird
mhm.
time. Go ahead with this.
I love this question, and for those that might not know, Joe Paniccio, and also known as Ghost Joe.
Let's go.
Please check out his new show. Well, it's not new, it's new for us, and it's 7 a.m. on Fridays on the Get Haunted page, called Warped Reality Paranormal Podcast. He has been such a pleasure to add to our fun family of hosts. He is so energetic, and I love that he's always wanting to sort of interject these questions because that's what we love. We love like expanding those conversations. So, what is your opinion on people saying that if you see a loved one or a ghost in general, that they are evil and not really the person that is being
Yeah.
shown? I've had experience seeing my deceased mother and know for a fact it was definitely her. Joe, here's what I will say. This is just Sarah's humble opinion, and I do not give. I feel like we don't give the other side enough credit, and we also tend to um, form a narrative about the other side to sort of fit our ego and not really maybe what's going on. So I have often been annoyed by the theory that if you see a ghost child, it's a demon, pretending to be a child to trick you. Um, I think fear has always been something that has kept the living in line. I think that understanding the positive and the negatives in life and in death are an important piece to just being. Doesn't
Mhm.
matter if you're living on earth or if you're energy in universe. I think that no one on the planet should ever take your experience of having moments of connecting with your mother and possibly suggesting that it's anything else.
Yeah, and I think you nailed part of it too, is the word narrative.
Mhm,
If we talk about faith-based belief systems, right, which that sort of flies into the face of what they say, right? um and I know a couple of experiences. I
mhm,
know
mhm,
were my dad. I just know it.
mhm,
And after he died, and when I was cleaning, his stuff up and how I set things up. I know what happened. I
Mhm.
know. So I'm not a big no. For me, that theory doesn't fly, right? But it doesn't mean that those people are not entitled to that opinion, right? There are people that are like, well, like my former mother-in-law, she's like, there's only one ghost, Rob. Only, and off the boat Polish accent, only one ghost. And we would argue about this, right? I'm like, okay, I get it. I get where she's because she's devout Catholic. Um, we can't do what we do and be stuck in a single narrative. You just can't. You just can't. And someone said to me a long time ago, and you and I have talked about this. Sometimes universe, spirit, whatever you want to call it, presents itself in a way that it knows it's going to get your
Mhm.
attention. And if
Mhm.
that's your mom, right? And it doesn't mean it's not her or your dad or my dad or anybody. Perhaps that is the message that universe is trying to give to you and say, hey, dude, you know, oh look, me and you can trust this information. Don't know.
Mhm. But I also think, where I think what can be frustrating for me with these theories, and I'm not taking away from somebody that has experiences with extreme negative entities or energy or spirit, because I don't know. I myself have not had that in the years that I have participated. Um, but what I will say is, I believe that as easy as we say, this is Matt Linker. Sorry, I always just have to say that. It's Matt
Yeah,
Linker, everybody. Say hi to Matt Linker.
I'm at Lincoln.
Um, you know, when somebody sort of steps in, and if how they investigate or how they sort of traverse through the paranormal has them always saying like this is a demon or this is negative energy or this is XYZ. I don't often find that there's been that much digging or investigating into that claim. And they sort of tie it to something that they've experienced before instead of understanding the entirety of this, the here and now
Yeah.
experience, right? They'll just pass it off. We do this often. We do this in the living every day. Oh, um, I get dinged for being a blonde and having certain attributes. I get
What?
dinged for that.
What are those attributes?
It's-
I don't know what you're talking about.
so and so I get dinged for something that because people have had those experiences or there's jokes about it, they can say that all day long about me. I've encountered this for years, right? And it's fine, whatever. They've not done any due diligence to meet me, understand who I am, or have a lengthy conversation, right?
Right.
We do this every day. I'm just using something that was my own experience. So, but I do watch that. I do watch that often when we investigate, and people will have sort of, you're basing it off of what you do know. But what I do find the paranormal so amazing is that to me it's pushing us to understand what we don't know, to say we just don't know. But I feel like we don't say that enough, right? I feel like we don't say that enough. I feel like we always I feel like we always say we just know what's going on and we just don't. And so if your experience, Ghost Joe, has been that you have had those experiences with your mom, I just don't know. I just don't think I'm that cynical of a person that just assumes, well, that's clearly not your mom. That's somebody evil trying to get at you. I don't love that. I think you should explore the entirety of the experience before you make
Yeah,
those claims.
agreed. And I just want to go back because it is a good question. Um, what when my dad, yeah, it's possible. Um, it's possible because he did love watching Wheel of Fortune. So
Mhm,
who
mhm.
knows? Maybe he just wanted to spend his last few months watching television.
Yeah. I love that
And
question. Thank you, Ghost Joe.
yeah, it is a great question. And that's a great seek with your soul, which we're bringing back kind of discussion as well. Maybe we can get some people on um, and figure it out. So now I have a good idea how old Drunken Donuts is. This is important. Um, Matlock. Yeah.
Matlock.
Uh,
Drunken's around our age, I think.
Yeah, I would think so too. What's up, Kaylee? Or thank you for coming.
Go
Go
save
look
lives,
it up.
Kaylee.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't subscribe to that theory. If I, you know, but there are people that think that every ghost is a demon, including my ex former mother-in-law was like, "No, they all demons." I'm like, we'd all be in trouble.
I mean, look, we don't know either way, but I do think that our experiences with the paranormal, they're look, everything in universe is beautifully, it's a mirror, right? It's a big beautiful mirror, and you have to ask yourself, and we have faith and we have what we've grown up with, and I'm that's what I am. One thing I'm really excited about bringing Seek with Your Soul back, and folks, you can catch Seek with Your Soul right on Paranormally Blonde once a month. We're going to bring it back and go into a little bit of the deeper conversations just like this, and it is about stopping and understanding yourself, your life, your experiences, the things that you bring with you to the paranormal to understand why you may be paranormaling the way you are. Oh, he's got his book. He's showing his
I just
book.
flash my book every now and then just because I want people to remember
Yeah,
that I'm up.
that you have a book.
I'm a number one worldwide bestseller across the globe.
I'm coming
Worldwide
up.
means
I'm
across
gonna do
the globe.
I'm gonna do a coloring book
You should.
because clearly that's all
You
I'm probably.
should.
It'll be the world of Wookiees, maybe.
Um, let's see. Only demons living are living. Yes, true story. Probably. And Juanice, I believe that's how we say your name. You know,
Funny. It's how
uh,
I would say it. Yeah.
and she like great deep energy. Deep energy. I know. I get what you're saying. Yeah, I had my Joe B aviators on, blackout edition. Hey Susan.
Oh,
Hello.
Susan, the beautiful Susan. I love.
Hold
I
on. What's
what?
Linger saying here? That may you know what? Out of all of them, I think she's the only one that didn't think that. Let's just put it
Yeah.
that way.
Ooh,
Hence X. So there we go. Jonice. Jonice. Am I saying that correct? Jonice.
Jonice.
That
Jonice.
makes sense.
Mhm.
Okay. Sorry for butchering
You
your
were
name.
saying wah, and it's
All
not
right.
wah. It's Joe.
So see, we got a lot of cool stuff coming up. But yes, that's seek with your soul when we bring that back, which is going to be one week per month, correct?
Correct.
Is where we go in, into those deeper dives. And then over on Patreon, we also can do that, but it's even a little more unfiltered at times, right? And the nice part about over there, um, yes, it's better to be live than unalive.
That's true.
Um, but over there, we can dig deep and ask like crazier questions about equipment, like we did last night. Like get into the things and having the people that actually create equipment on there to ask the questions we might feel stupid asking here, right, publicly. It was cool. It's fun. So the Patreon piece is fun. It's cheap. You don't have to get the high end
Mhm.
tiers. And it helps. It helps save um, sea turtles.
Well, yeah, what I love about the Patreon piece, and it's not to hide anything. It is to allow people to open up a little bit more about a little like it's weird to me that there's even controversial statements about paranormal, and I'm talking even like things that I don't necessarily subscribe to, like why that should be so, like why we need to be careful about what we say when we're trying to discover something that none of us have the answer on, right? So Patreon sort of helps us sit back and allow people to just like be like, okay, and you can say what you want to say, and we're not there to judge, we're there to build on that conversation,
Plus, you get
right? We're there to
cool presents. Um, so yeah, there's so many cool things coming. But
yeah.
those two events are next, I believe. I don't even know. I haven't looked.
Well, May 10th is Get Inked.
Oh, getting
um
yes.
Yeah, that's what that is. April 5th is, of course,
Farnsworth.
Farnsworth. We have Mid Orange, which is April 12th.
Oh shit.
We have McClay Mansion, which is April 26th. And then March 29th, we have Old Franklin County Jail. So we have some fun stuff. We don't have as many folks. You'll notice we don't have as many events this year, and that was done by design,
Yeah.
because what we are doing is we are, instead of doing quantity, we wanted to do quality events for you, and we're giving each event its own little twists and spins, and we want to make these we want to make them a little more challenging and a little more intimate with each of you, because that's what
Yeah,
yeah.
you're yeah, we have every other Thursday's wing night.
Oh, you guys don't have Twin Peaks. We have Twin Peaks.
We don't have that. No.
Yeah.
Hey Mark.
Hi, Mark Brown.
Yes, you need a break, Mark. Get home and get
I
some
know.
rest.
Get
But
some rest.
yeah, so we got a lot of things kind of. We're gonna add a few more things probably by the at
Mhm.
some point. But that's where we're at right now, working on some new merch. We're probably gonna do a hoodie blowout because we have Paracons coming. Which, by the way, if you're a team watching, if you're a business watching, even if you're not in the paranormal, I don't know why you'd be watching, but if you have a business where you need um, actual merch done. Oh yeah, Julie.
Yeah, we are there. We are putting that event on.
Yeah.
That is the book release with Brian Paoni. So we will be there doing the book release and heading up the investigation afterwards. So you don't want to miss that one off the top. Gosh, I used to be able to keep these all in my head. June 21st. June
Yeah,
21st
that's June
is the
21st,
MSP.
I believe.
So
I know, and I need a copy because I got to know
yeah,
if I. He says he didn't kill me off in the
he
book.
didn't. He didn't.
How do you know though?
I know he didn't.
Did you get a copy?
I did not get a
Okay,
copy,
all right.
but I know he didn't. I
Did
know.
you? Are you working on something I don't know about with him? Why is my voice doing that? Sarah, she
Why?
is lying. I'm
No,
catching her.
I'm not. I'm not. I am not lying. I'm just.
Son of a.
Oh, she got her
Oh,
T-shirt.
good. Um, yeah, MSP is a pretty incredible place, Julie. But if you need merch, I'm your guy. We're your guy and gal. Like we do merch for some celebs. We did merch for businesses. We've done merch for a lot teams, you name
I'm
it.
not. I'm not lying, Damien.
Yeah, seriously. Um, but with Paracons, like conventions, we did Warren Convention merch for 2 years. We've done Rock Island in the past. So we need to, if you need merch this year and you're
Mhm,
looking for some deals, I'm putting together some cool packages, but you got to get on that list because um,
mhm.
we're going to be busy here with merch real soon.
Yeah.
You know, um, yeah, I play poker too. I was there was a point in my life drunken where I almost gave up, corporate America to play poker professionally. I have done very well. Done very well. But we're gonna have a hoodie blowout here over the next couple of days. Weather's getting warmer and I gotta make room in this merch room over here. Um so yeah, if you've been interested in one of our hoodies, now's the time because they're gonna be on sale.
We have some good ones. We have True, Stay True. We have
Stay
the
true. The
funeral home
hearse.
one, the hearse one. We
Illuminati. We've got a bunch.
have a bunch. We have some great ones. So get
And no,
your
they're not on the website yet. That's why we haven't had the blah. I know I'm gonna get yelled at later, but that's okay.
yeah. But here's the cool thing. Like, honest to God, like these hoodies, it's not too late for a hoodie because even if you're living in the upper parts of the United States, even summer evenings require
Oh my god,
a
yeah,
hoodie.
get ready for that too, because we are planning a couple of like fireside chats at
Oh
very
yeah.
cool locations that we can hang and talk. This was, my experience with Denise Ernie, Tano Leanne, Squatch Man down in Kentucky, just
Mhm,
sitting around a fire and talking theory and
mhm,
stories and getting to know each other while paranormal was working itself up around us. It's
mhm.
just it's just too cool.
And
And then
Danny came up. Oh, I just like threw my microphone. Danny came up with a great idea for when we were going to our first event, and why we talked about doing some more fireside chats.
yeah.
Because it really is, um, uh oh.
Kim, I'm back. I'm back. No, this was a side deal. And Kim, I'm breathing again. She didn't order it yet. She needs some custom shit done. So I
Oh,
got you tonight, girl.
okay.
Well, I'll email you tonight. Doesn't mean they'll be done tonight. She needs 2 hoodies, and they
Oh,
will be on sale too, Kim. Don't you worry.
oh, I don't know about these. I don't know a lot of things though.
Well, I don't know. What was you can what do you want me to do?
I don't know.
You just
I
got
don't
me in
know.
trouble. Just got me in trouble,
Um,
Kimberly.
but yeah, we do. We have, I think this year, 2025, we've talked about it. There's, it's time to, we got to stop like skimming the surface.
Yeah.
We got to stop trying to recreate and replicate TV shows and theories out there that don't go any deeper than yes, no. It's just time. It's time to understand that paranormal is not black and white. Life is not black and white. And so we're gonna get these conversations together with you guys, have them, why changing up paranormally blonde a little bit. It's just time. There it
That's
is.
why we meet the paranormal rule book.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because there are no rules.
There are no rules.
You fill it in with your
Mhm.
rules and
Mhm.
notes and observations
Yeah.
and pictures of me.
Like I would love to be able to sit down and have, and this might be something for Patreon, to be able to sit down, because I know I'm not the only person that kind of focuses on the living when you're at events, just to watch behavior, things said, things not said, reactions, and not in a critical way, but more in a trying to understand what is happening around us. And I think having those conversations to understand what we are witnessing, whatever the differences in experiences, just to sort of break those down. There just isn't what we don't push one way. We don't share evidence because we fake it or we're afraid that people are going to say we're faking it. That's not why we don't. We believe, and we don't expect you all to share your evidence. It's about sharing your experiences so we can have the conversations, because in the end, there's always going to be a naysayer out there. Doesn't matter. You could have the most incredible, well, in fact, if it's too incredible, forget it. It's
Oh,
faked,
yeah.
right?
It's
Like
fake.
that's fake.
Fake.
But you could have like a solid something, and there will always be somebody right there to tell you you're full of shit. You
Mhm.
faked it. That is called lazy, and that is also called like just an easy way out, because you need to ask better questions. If you just go right out and say something's faked and you can't come up with a question and or um, other theories that could be, I mean, some things are straight up faked, that. But if you can't offer those things up, then you need to just zip it. You offer nothing to that conversation. Zip it. Zip it.
Zip it.
Zip it.
So yeah, there's a lot going on. We don't just do shirts and stuff either, folks. We do like dog tags. I can laser engrave dog tags and mugs, and so
Mhm.
there's a lot going on.
Stickers.
So get ready to see some of that too. Um,
Oh, pardon me.
boom. So yeah, we got the book. We got the book coming. I'm excited. Missouri State Penitentiary is one of my most favorite places out there. Um, it is. It is. It's just such a good place. Such a good place. So the magicians are not selling the. I think he's saying sawing.
Sorry.
No, I can actually show you. I can show you how that's done, because contrary to not contrary to popular, what people may not know is I'm quite the magician. I prefer card magic.
Hi, Jonies.
Bye, Janice. Um, so yeah, lots of cool things.
Lots of
Yeah, there's other things people don't know about me that Sarah was gonna out me for on Monday.
well, there was a reason why, though. There
Yeah,
was why.
because I brought up the balcony, I think.
Oh, no, no. You brought up that you might have your stomach was off and you said I might have to go off camera, and then it brought me to a funny story. And I think we need to have another Who Knows Rob Best, because that was one of the funnest shows we've ever done, and so many people participated. So if you follow us, and we have some new stuff we could put out there. I mean, oh my God, if you're
Yeah.
following.
Hey, Drunken, please don't give my haters more ammo. I'm sure that's coming. I'm sure Interpol would be next. I don't know. But yeah, so this came up Monday, and I don't know if I'm comfortable with you sharing all of my
Oh,
secrets.
okay.
You can do it if you want, because it's getting to the end of the show, and I have to get ready to go to the
Yeah.
doctor.
Not for this issue though. I don't think.
No, not for
It's
this.
not really for
No,
this
'cause,
issue.
my
I love you,
ribs
Thomas
friggin'
Goldberg.
broken. I'm like, but I am finally a bit better. I can breathe deep
Mhm. Mhm.
again, which is nice. I can move.
Mhm.
But in the fall, I really jacked my ribs up and my lower back, and it's been a mess.
Oh, I hope that the physical therapy is working though.
It seems to be.
That's good. I don't know what you can do physically to
For
heal a
ribs,
rib.
there's almost nothing you can do.
I mean, I would assume just rest it, correct?
Rest and
Yeah.
stretch.
Yeah.
And I have to do, they're almost like somatic.
Yeah. Do you hook your thumbs?
And then you have to turn.
Do you hook
I
your
don't hook my thumbs, but
You should try that. Try that today. Try
okay.
the
The
butterfly.
hardest part is remembering how many I've done already. So they
Um,
stick me in this room, and I got to sit there and do that by myself for
oh, you have to count out. You don't have somebody watching you?
no.
Are you actually doing the work?
Yeah, I swear to God, I
Oh,
am.
okay.
I swear to God. And then they, it's just it's a lot. I got to roll a ball.
I love that. You should take
Um,
video of yourself.
Sports tape. Yeah, I was. Now the constant pain is gone, Susan. It's sneezing, like, and with the weather change and
Mhm.
allergies appear to be kicking back up. A
Yeah.
sneezing fit. It looks like I'm getting beat up. It is a nightmare. But anyway,
A little shot of
back to the big topic.
the big topic. Yeah. I don't know, for those of you that were on Monday. So he was like, okay, my stomach's a little jacked up. He's like, so I might have to go off camera. And it reminded me, I
But
had gone in. Huh?
it wasn't for that. But go ahead.
Well, you were going to step away anyways. I don't know.
Yeah.
So anyways, it reminded me I had come in for the event, our first event. And, we get to the apartment, and he goes, he goes out to have his cigarette. And I'm just doing my thing. I'm probably looking at my phone. He closes the door, and he's outside, right? And so I guess he thought he was in a soundproof room. And so I'm just minding my business, and it's like, holy shit, right? Like,
All
so
right. Don't say it like that. I
well,
had a little.
it was just funny because it clearly it was like, okay, you're holding it in, and then you're just like, I'm just gonna go out and have a cigarette, and you think you're safe, right? So, hey
Well, I
man,
was outside, so I figured I
hey
didn't know it
Michelle.
was going to rattle the apartment.
Yeah, so as I'm scrolling, it's like, okay, bro, like, and I didn't say anything, right? Because whatever, like, whatever, right? He did. He let one rip, so
Uh,
whatever. And I wasn't gonna say anything because it's like, all right. He clearly thought he was safe out there on the balcony with the door closed. Didn't think anything of it. So we're all having. I think we were having breakfast together, and I don't remember why, but there was like a segue for me to say something. I was just
yeah.
like, "Oh," I was like, "Hey, just so you know, it is normal. We all have the same body functions." Um, I was like, "Just so you know, when you're on the balcony, it's not soundproof."
Yeah.
And
But that's how she delivered it.
that is how I delivered it. I was just like, I And then of course Danny, like her laugh makes me right, like that just she started, and we actually have our own fart stories together from West Virginia.
Right. We don't have to share everything.
But so I was like, hey, like, just so you know, you went out there and you closed the door and it's not soundproof. And he's like, oh, well, let me tell you this story.
Okay. That part that can be for next Wednesday. Let's not talk about it.
The balcony, he thinks the balcony, I don't know what you think, because that is not the actual balcony, but very similar. Very similar.
Yeah, no, my balcony's nicer than this.
Look, you're getting so much love. Like everybody is okay with it. So
Yeah.
he says,
That's a shitty balcony right there. Mine's
he's,
so
he's like, yeah, one time I was out there probably having a cigarette and he did his thing. And the neighbors below him were also sitting out on the balcony.
You're never fucking out there. Ever.
And here's the thing, it is so normal, and who gives a shit?
You're
But
never out there. So, I made a sound. I blew the trumpet, and all of a sudden, and they didn't even like try to hold it in. They just busted out,
yeah,
laughing at me.
it was just funny because he was just like, it was so embarrassing because they laughed, and look, we all do it. I just have to say, like, I get it. It is natural. I'm not making fun of him. It just makes me laugh. It's like when somebody trips, I can't help it. So it's just inappropriate times. So
Yeah. So that's how. Yeah, that's how it was delivered. Though the delivery was brutal because I knew exactly what she meant.
oh yeah,
And
you
then
had thought you were off. You thought, oh, right, like you were like, no big deal. Like you came in, and it was like, all right. So, anyways, and it was just like, bro, like,
shut up.
it was funny. It was
Yeah,
funny.
there was no fire or explosion. Yes, it could have been way worse. Night bat. I agree, Michelle. Um,
I don't know what the hell he ate.
uh,
It was just one of those things, right? Like, yeah, it was funny. But anyway,
um,
and you, because here's the thing, like, as a fellow human being, right?
what happens?
I actually like could relate and felt compassion, like, oh, he's out there and he thinks he's safe, and he was like, okay, like a breath of fresh air, so to speak.
don't, don't. Look, and after hundreds of public investigations, we've
Yeah.
had plenty of people during an investigation on an old ass, 'cause I try not to sit in chairs. I like to be connected to property, right? Like I do.
Yeah.
And so others tend to sit on the floor near me or around me. And I've had people vibrate the floor, right? And then they try not to, they try to play it off. I don't deliver. That I know that they did that. So I did, I try to be conscious
Yeah.
of not making them feel ridiculous. But sometimes you can't help, especially if it's a small room, right?
Yeah.
And they had a hard,
Yeah.
time digesting
Okay,
something.
first of all, Drunken, he has to be a great sport, because do you know how much shit I get? Like, I get more shit than anybody from Rob.
Are you serious?
Are you serious? If you do not, he's gonna play the one thing that just
What are you talking about? I would never, ever do that. Sarah,
Rob.
I don't do things like that.
There are some great, one of our favorite bloopers, Susan, is anytime, and it happens to so many people when you're about to do an EVP and you're like, everybody be quiet, we're going to ask questions. And then somebody asks a question and a living person answers it.
Oh, I have so many of those. So many of those. Anybody want to see my mailman mad at me? Because this is great. This is one of my favorites. I'm just going to play this to show you that your day doesn't have to suck.
Fucking asshole. Oh shit. Get fucking you can't fucking do this shit.
That dude is so bad.
I can't believe you got that on video. It is the funniest thing I've ever freaking watched. It's the funniest thing I've ever watched. He's so mad at you.
Oh, he
And
was so
and
mad.
what were those?
That was $600 worth of abalone shells. Which by the time I got it was probably down to like $400 worth because there were many broken abalone shells after that. I
Oh.
didn't ask for it to be delivered via USPS. I just paid for my shells for the the cleansing kits we sell. Yes, exactly, Matt. Those is pretty much yeah, it's just me doing a
Oh
lot of
my
shit.
god. You can just any like that guy just walking up there and just
This motherfucking asshole fucking this. Oh my god, he was so mad. And this was not the first time. He's tossed my other packages too. Like he just look, man, I order heavy shit. So yeah, that's
oh
my
god.
I don't miss him. Um,
He
but
probably misses you. He probably misses you.
I
He probably did have some gas issues.
uh yeah, it was a rough one. It was a rough one. But yeah, so that was my guy. I have a new mail person, delivery
Yeah.
person who's very nice and doesn't hate me quite as much.
Although I would think that your UPS and FedEx people do hate you when they have to carry things up to the 3rd floor, like merchandise
Oh,
and
when I order like merch, hoodies, that before the war in Paracon, I had to order all the hoodies. Like there
Mhm.
was, I actually took a picture of it. He literally called me and he's like, "Hey, bro, I'm not doing this." Um, yeah, it's exactly what happens. That's his problem. He doesn't have a balcony. He probably lives in a room.
Just your fart zone. I'm gonna have a sign made. I'm gonna get that done for you.
But I do love the bloopers idea. And most of mine are stories, and I could tell you like some ridiculous ones, but that would have to be a Patreon thing. I'm
Yeah.
not sure we could even do that here, but yeah, there's some after hundreds of public events and meeting thousands and thousands of people. Yeah,
Are you talking about like just what people do on events?
well, yeah, and stupid things that are said, or yeah, oh yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah. Hey, ladies, when you're afraid, grabbing some guy's package is just not the move.
That wasn't the one I was going to tell, but okay.
Well, I'm telling it because it is amazing to me that, that's junk is not going to save you. If you're afraid, that's not saving you.
Mm,
Just
she was
gonna.
scared.
Apparently, she was. Apparently, she was so frightened she didn't
I was
realize.
like, I'm just gonna put my flashlight on, everyone, just so you know. It was pitch black. It was yeah, that's a good
She
story.
thought she thought she was safe. She thought
Mm.
she could.
Yeah, that's a long
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
Oh, no pun intended. Oh,
Anyways, oh,
Sarah went down. Sarah went down the friggin' stairs at Rock Island.
I did it, but that one, and I had to pee, so that was. But I had walked somebody out, and I knew I should have gone to the bathroom before I went back up, and I had left. You actually had my flashlight, Rob. I was going back,
I did.
and you had used the flashlight. I went to walk her out, and I was going back up a different way that I had come down. And so I was like, I'll go to the bathroom after this session. So I went to go walk up the stairs, and when the door closed behind me in the stairwell, it got really dark. It got really dark, and I was like, and I don't normally
She
freak out.
doesn't get scared. She is never scared.
So I started to walk up the stairs, and I was going up to the second floor, and I thought I was in the doorway to the hallway, and I don't know, something all of a sudden stopped me on the landing, and I was just like, and I went, Rob? And I thought I was talking out in the hallway, but I wasn't. I was talking into a classroom that was in the stairwell. So I didn't even realize. And then all of a sudden I just went, you know what? I can't. And I went to I went to walk down the stairs, but I did the splits all the way. Like my left foot went first, and I cut, you know how you catch the edge of the step on the right in the middle of your foot, and I just slid all the way down, splitting, like doing the splits and about pissing myself. So I shot out of the door, and Candy and Lisa were like sitting at the main table, and they were like, "Yeah, right." I'm like, first of all, I have to, like, I'm peeing. I gotta go. So, and then I got the coolest flashlight from Candy. She's like, "Can I give this to you?" But oh my god, I haven't done the splits in years, so doing them down the stairs, that was a brutal recovery.
Sorry.
But you were so mad because I went up, right? I went up to, I know, right? Bodily fluids. I got the flashlight, went peed, got the flashlight, went back to session, and then I walked in. You were like, "Oh my God, where were you?" And I said, don't be mad.
She could barely walk.
Yeah, I was like, I just fell down the stairs. And you're like, "I told you that's why you can't be by yourself." So yes, it does happen. It does happen.
Yeah.
So always pee before, especially if you're a woman in menopause, always pee before you go on these things, because there's no controlling that. There's no controlling that. So yeah. So see, body functions. It happens.
Yeah.
Bodily
we learned a lot about everybody today, except for Drunken Donuts, except for perhaps we were narrowing down age brackets. I'm going to figure you out, Drunken. I'm going.
But do you see how everybody's okay with this all? Everybody's good. And I love this. Susan speaking the truth here. Junk will never save you, folks.
No.
Junk only gets you in trouble.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
So
with the nope, you just stop right there.
Yeah,
it's just gonna stop right there. So yeah, we've got a lot of things going on. We just wanted to sit and chit chat with you today, but come and join us on Patreon. We are going to be starting more lives and doing some deeper talks and great conversations. But also Paranormally Blonde has changed. We are going to be on about 3 times a month. So we'll have 2 regular shows that aren't going to be so regular anymore, and a Seek with the Soul. But March has 5 Mondays. So we're going to have probably 4 shows this month. And so we're going to get some good conversations in. And yeah, it's time, folks. It's time. It's time. Ooh, making notes for Farnsworth.
Yeah.
And no grabbing packages. Please, Kimberly. Yes. Pee first. Absolutely. No grabbing packages.
We're going to put it in the waiver. Don't worry.
Yeah. Love it. I love that. So yeah, with that, oh, that's what I did know about that.
What? The shirts, the hoodies?
I remember you told me.
See? You see how she lies? And then I get blamed for everything. I'm so hungry. What am I going to eat?
I don't know. I actually am hungry too. I had Polish pancakes this morning. I didn't have my eggs. I had Nelschniki.
I'm going to have eggs and a bagel for lunch.
Ooh, I think I'm going to have eggs.
Then I got to
have eggs too.
Freaking 4:30 appointment.
And if you guys ever want a delicious breakfast, you need to have Nelschniki, and you should do it with Nelschniki.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Polish crepes.
Yep.
They're delicious, and you should have them with lemon juice and powdered sugar. I'm just saying, it will change your life.
The lemon juice can go.
No.
That's stupid.
There's something about lemon juice and powdered sugar on a crepe that is the most delicious. Okay, enough. You don't like lemon? You don't do lemon at all?
No, not even on seafood. Everybody is like, how do you not put shut up, Drunken.
This is the stuff my dad used used to
Yep.
say. Like, he would say, "Get ready, girl, because you're gonna get it. Blonde and Polish, you're getting it." So,
Oh yeah, the jokes. It's how do you break? And never mind. There's a million of them, and I am probably inspiration for several of the Polish jokes out there because I too am Polish.
uh-huh.
Stachowicz.
We are.
This is the
You've got
Polish.
that name. You've
Now
got a very mine. I just feel like it's just like Kmishak. Like,
that's very Polish.
it is very Polish, but
Stachowicz.
you know, you,
Stachowicz.
you can't really say
Robushka.
Kmishak with a crazy accent. I don't think.
That was Robushka. Jak się masz? Dzień dobry. Daj mi buzi. I'm not Borat. The Polish man breaks. It's like we did that one already. Jak się masz? That's not how you spell it, but I got it. That looks more Japanese than Polish. Oh, anyway. All right. Well, we're at an hour and 12 minutes and 11
All right.
seconds.
Well, let's get to work. We got work to do, folks. And
Yeah.
so do you. I know you do. So get back to those amazing things that you guys do. And, honestly, thank you guys for being the community. Thank you for being exactly who you are and inspiring us and motivating us. And we hope that we offer you that exact same thing back. But, with that, we're going to let you guys get back to your
We're
work.
going to get back to Endor. That's the moon that a Wookiee would go to.
Oh, I don't even know.
I think that's where the Ewoks lived.
Oh, because I'm 53, so I don't. I live here. So you have a good rest of your day, Drunken, and we love you, Damien. So with that, as you guys all know, we see you, we appreciate you, and we certainly love you, and thank you for everything that you have done and to continue to grow this network. We are excited to do that right alongside you. So have a great thank you, Susan. So have a great rest of your week. Please check out the amazing shows that will be on the Get Haunted main page for the Get Haunted Paranormal Podcast program. And don't forget, Friday, 7 a.m., you're getting ready. You got a cup of coffee. You're getting yourself together for work, or you're in the car already. Turn it on and listen to Warped Reality Paranormal Podcast with Ghost Joe Paniccio.
Yeah, so for whatever reason now, every single time I get in my car, because I was listening to his show, it just constantly, as soon as my phone hooks to my car, I hear Joe every time I get in my car. I'm like, and it freaks me out because I'm like, I know that voice, and then I'm like, wait,
it's Joe.
Yeah,
it's Joe. It's Ghost Joe.
It just automatically starts up.
Listen to that show. And if you can't catch it at 7, you can catch it on replay. Go fill in your notebook. We got work to do and eggs to make. So go have a great day. We love you. Mwah. And we will talk to you guys, I'm sure, soon. Peace out.